Before I begin, I just want to mention that I did not beat the game in a week. My last video on Persona Q was actually recorded 2 weeks before I actually finished it. Unfortunately, I couldn't get around to editing it because I was too busy doing my favorite thing in the entire world, writing papers for college, of course. So then about 2 weeks later, I actually got around to finishing the video, which was a week ago. And now I finally finished the game yesterday night, I guess kind of night. It was at like 4 a.m. I couldn't go to sleep. I really wanted to beat the game. But yeah, it took me just about a month and I played about 90 hours. I ended up turning the difficulty down to normal because it honestly got way too tough. I know I'm a casual, right? But the ending though, where do I even begin with this? I picked up this game because it looked like, it was just gonna be a fun little crossover between the Persona 3 and the Persona 4 gang, and boy was I wrong. This game got really serious really fast. And honestly, the ending was really sad for me for like a ton of different reasons. One, the whole thing with Zen and Rei was really heartfelt, I thought. It's really neat that like a form of the god of time felt pity for this poor girl and fell in love with her and did this whole thing. But then also just like the tragedy in the Persona 3 and the Persona 4 crew ultimately losing their memories. It was so sad because Narukami and Makoto are like, oh yeah, like we're homies, but like we may forget our memories, but like we'll meet again, right? And it's like, I literally started crying because I was like, no, Makoto's gonna die. They will never meet again. And I was like, shit, dude, that's so sad. And then not to mention like the Persona 3 crew, I did the Persona 3 side in case you didn't see my previous video, but the Persona 3 side, they fixed all their problems. They all grew. They all became a better team and they all got along better. And eventually they will reach this point in the actual timeline, but it's really neat and kind of tragic because they had finally become close, and in some ways it could have changed how things went for them. Now they were actually a cohesive team, and maybe, they could have somehow changed how everything ended up. Not to mention, like, especially in Clock Tower, it seems like Ken is kind of forgiving Shinji. So in that way, when Margaret randomly dropped on them that like, oh yeah, you're gonna lose your memories, it was kind of tragic because now Shinji will die again. Whereas before, I honestly, the way it was looking, Shinji might have survived because Ken seemed to have gotten over it a little bit, or at least thought differently about revenge and all that. Yeah, like just the whole thing with them losing their memories was really sad to me. These gangs will never meet in that same capacity. Until Persona Q2, but even then, I assume they're gonna forget that too. Well, I know they're gonna forget that too. Honestly, me being sad about the whole thing is kind of dumb because I went into it knowing they were going to forget everything. But just the circumstances of it all, and them ultimately forgetting everything, and Margaret just dropping it on them like randomly, it just felt so sad. I really felt that these two gangs had gotten along together and they all grew together, especially the Persona 3 gang again. But it's so sad because they lost all of that progress and everything, all the tragic things that will go on to happen in P3. Shinji's death, Makoto's death, all of that will still happen, even though there was a chance that they could have reversed it through what had transpired in this game. Besides all the sad facts though, overall, I really liked the game. Clock Tower started to drag on like a little bit, but besides that, I feel like the game was a lot of fun. And it had so many different things that I honestly want in mainline Persona. Things that are probably from Etrian Odyssey, but things that Atlas should just steal anyway. Like, Link attacks were honestly so much fucking fun. Like, I had Akihiko, like, being the avatar wielding, like, all 4 Link elements. It was fucking awesome, dude. Circles, too, were another, like, really good addition, I thought. They were honestly, like, a lot of fun. Panic Circle, Sleep Circle, Circle Recovery, like, Bloody Vanguard. All of those, like, cool new passives that they added just were really nice, I thought. Like, what was that other one? Heroic Gemini? I've, like, never seen that in a mainline Persona game, but I'm a, stupid noob, so maybe I missed it. But yeah, all of the combat additions were really nice, I thought. And I don't know, it makes me mad that these games are so underrated. Like, they sold well, but I feel like they're never really talked about, which is so sad because the game's story is so good and it's so sad, and it makes me mad that nobody like gives it any attention. Like Zen and Rei were two really well done characters in my opinion, and the two crews meeting was honestly a lot more interesting than people give it credit for. My one little like thing that I thought was really interesting was when Mitsuru realized that there were Persona users 2 years after their time. Like when they realized that they weren't in the same year, that's when it got really interesting, because like Mitsuru was like, wait, there's Persona users in 2011 that don't know about the Dark Hour, so like, did we win? Like we may have saved the world, you know? I just wish that that was like expanded upon a little more, maybe talked about a little bit more. But besides that, everything about the game was great. It was a lot of fun. For my first time playing a 3DS, like the game was great. I mean, you know, 3DS graphics kind of suck. I wish it was a little bit better, but I can't really do anything about that. But like overall, I really, really love this game. And next, I want to play Q2, right? But obviously, I can't play Q2 unless I've played Persona 3 Portable, because I gotta get to know FemC and know what her whole deal is about, right? So since I beat Persona Q last night, I started playing Persona 3 Portable today, and it's already been like literally so much fun. I love Persona 3. It's like my favorite Persona game. So to go back into it, I'm already having so much fun. And it just feels so good to be able to control party members. Like, the random bosses at certain floors, like I feel like I can actually strategize. So yeah, I'm loving Persona 3 Portable so far. And once I beat that, hopping right into Q2. For Persona 3 Portable, I don't think I'm gonna do any videos like talking about them like I did for Q. Maybe not until I'm done, because I've already played Fest, so it's not like it's like super new to me. And you know, I'm sure all of you know Persona 3 is a great game. You don't need me to tell you that. But yeah, I'm really excited to keep playing Persona 3 Portable. Super excited to get into Persona Q2. Loved Persona Q. Yeah, that's all I had to say for today. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe. This is Heavenly M. Adios.